What we have here are two premier trucks. The best off-road truck currently available from General Motors, the GMC, and of course the Ford Raptor, the best off-road truck available from Ford. But here's a question, dude. We had this argument in the office, right?
Right.
Which truck is more usable every day? Which one is the best all-around truck?
Well, the one I'm driving, the GMC, I got the carbon package.
What?
Oh yeah, it's the best.
All right, so in this video, let's go over kind of the specs, show the trucks, and then take them for a drive and actually see what's what. And guys, we need your help because I don't think we're gonna agree on this.
No, we're not.
So dude, to figure out if these are best all-around trucks, we gotta talk about chassis suspensions, right? Because not only do they have to be off-road trucks, they also have to be, you know, just good trucks.
A majority of the people who buy these things don't just buy them for work, they buy them so they can commute back and forth, which is why your truck is one of the worst choices out there.
What? No, you're wrong. Before we move on, dude, full disclosure, we actually purchased this truck. This is a company vehicle for TFL Truck. It's a 2020 Ford Raptor crew cab, fully loaded with basically almost every option.
Right.
And you have a truck that actually is on loan from GMC, right?
That is correct. Now this is the special Carbon Pro version of the GMC Sierra 1500, and it has the Duramax in it, which is, in my mind, the engine of the year. It is absolutely a fantastic diesel.
Really? All right, so before we go under the hood, let's just quickly get some of the specs out of the way, right, for tires. So let me start with the Ford, okay?
All right.
So reinforced chassis, because this is a Raptor, so when you're comparing it against an F-150, it's a slightly different, of course, frame. And then it's a wide body, wide suspension because of travel. If you actually look down here, you can see, of course, the fancy suspension, the fancy shocks, aluminum A-arms, and about 11, just a little over 11 inches of ground clearance. These are 35s this truck is riding on. Actually, if you can convert this size, 315 70 R17s, the 17-inch wheel, this is about 34 and a half inches real world kind of tire diameter. But these are very good KO2s, BF Goodrich, also with a snow rating, with a snowflake rating. And the suspension on this truck, dude, is probably the smartest currently available, period. It's active adjustable.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But it's also extremely expensive and overly complicated. Now, my truck has a little bit more of a simple, more conventional setup that's a little bit easier for day-to-day driving. One of my big issues with the Raptor, and the TRX for that matter, is the fact that they're so wide. This is basically as wide as a heavy-duty truck. Even more so if you're looking at a dually. It's just ridiculous. So, this truck, narrower, which does make it a lot easier to park and to commute with. Now, it does have Wrangler Duratrex from Goodyear that are 275/65 R18s. I kind of wish it had bigger tires and wheels. I just think it would look a little bit cooler.
Kind of? Really?
Yeah, just kind of.
Okay.
So, but these have proven to work quite well. We've had these tires on several different vehicles that we've tested, and they work really well. They're not too bad in snow, and they're pretty good off-road. I like the look of them too. I think they look really macho and mean. The other thing is that its overall height obviously is not that of the Raptor. However, because it is an AT4, it has an off-road package that gives it a little bit of a lift and beefier suspension. Andre, underneath this truck it has,
I think it's like 10 and a half inches
about 10
approximately.
and a half inches.
So this is just over 11 inches. This is just under 11 inches. So actually comparable ground clearances.
Yeah.
I mean, these are coasters. Come on, dude.
I do wish they were a little bit bigger, just a little beefier to kind of fill everything else out. But in terms of capability, these tires have proven to be quite good.
And the shocks, of course, are Ranchos. Tell me about your Rancho Shocks. So when the truck is in the air jumping, can you actually, will the shocks know that and actually stiffen up like on the Raptor and actually cushion your landing?
I would love to see you jump that and then watch you stiffen up. Because Roman would freak the hell out. You jumped my truck again? Oh yeah, it's not going to happen.
Actually, we do have a video of the Raptor jumping.
Yes.
But it's not in this video.
No.
It's actually coming up, or actually on TFL Truck channel also, Raptor versus Can-Am.
Yeah, and somebody else jumped that truck.
Oh, like a stunt driver?
Something like that.
Okay.
More importantly, though, the Rancho suspension on here is a trade-off. It's not complicated at all. It's a very simple suspension system that's basically the same thing that we have in the Trail Boss, like our long-term Chevrolet Trail Boss. Rancho suspension, basically pretty good all the way around. Obviously, the articulation is nowhere near as good as the Raptors, but in general off-road settings, it works pretty good.
Okay, well, that's chassis, suspension, right?
Yeah.
And tires. We went over that. Let's look at the powertrains, because underneath the hood of the Raptor is a very premium, sophisticated powertrain. Let me show you. Let's pop the hoods.
Mine is premium and sophisticated as well. In fact, mine is even more sophisticated.
How can that be? Oh, okay. Let's pop the hoods. So this Raptor obviously has all the premium features. Of course, we'll go on the interior in a second, and all the tech as well. Before we go for a drive, the hood initially is a little bit heavy when you pop it. But Nathan, I want you to pay special attention. Do you see this kind of dinosaur gill
piece of plastic?
A piece of plastic covering this beautiful engine? It says Ford Performance on it.
Yeah, that's that high output.
It is a high output.
Yeah, it is.
And it's currently the most powerful engine, 450 horsepower for a full-size truck, and 510 pound-feet of torque, and a 10-speed. And it's very durable. I mean, it's proven itself over the last 3 years in the Raptor.
You know, it's funny because both of us have the same issue about one thing.
What?
We both have a lot of tinfoil under the hood.
What?
I know it's heat wrap, but
it
looks like tinfoil.
Oh, you have that too?
Yeah, mine's more noticeable, but completely different engine. This is a straight 6 Duramax diesel. It's a 3-liter. It is a brand new diesel engine from General Motors, specifically built for trucks. And it has been one of my absolute favorite powertrain setups this year by far. Andre, I believe that the output of this engine isn't quite that of the Raptors, but its torque is pretty decent.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, I have to give it to this engine, actually. Yeah. 277 horsepower,
right.
460 pound-feet of torque. So about 50 pound-feet of torque away from this engine. But lower RPM. That torque is available right off the bat.
Yes, and it does have a 10-speed automatic transmission. So it's very smooth. It's very quiet. The most important part about this truck is the fact that you have all of that great grunt, you have it at low end, and you have great efficiency, something that Raptor does not have. This engine, to me, is the jewel of this truck. It is what makes it so excellent.
But dude, in a drag race, this truck and this engine has no chance versus this. Even if this was a 6.2, which is also available, right?
Yeah.
At elevation here in Colorado, the Raptor is basically king for acceleration.
I won't doubt that. The Raptor is an excellent toy off-road, and it is a lot of fun to drive. No doubt there. However, day-to-day driving, this will not require me to get a second mortgage on my house in order to fill it up to go back and forth from Denver to Boulder. It is very efficient. What was the MPG that we were able to achieve on one of these?
Something insane.
Like 30?
Like 39, 29 or 30. Yes,
right?
Yes.
In a truck like this? Yes, I've already won. You know why?
What?
Because the EPA is going to love me. Yeah.
Will they?
Well, I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's talk about utility. Okay. Let me show you.
Bring it on.
Full disclosure: we modified the Raptor, and the only modification is the soft topper in the back.
People have been a little boisterous about that soft top.
Yeah.
Edition,
Full disclosure: we know that you guys, most of you, don't like this soft topper, but I think it's very functional. Makes the truck look kind of utilitarian, military. And right here in the back, it's covered storage. We can put anything we want in here. And dude, this truck will tow 8,000 pounds. It's rated for 8,000.
Yep.
Just the way you see it here. I'm not gonna tell you about Payload.
Yes, you are.
Why?
Because it's not very good. Yeah.
It's 1,000 pounds.
1,000 pounds. That's
yeah.
pretty pathetic. But it's an off-road truck, so it's got really soft suspension, and I get that. By the way, I wanted to mention one thing I really do like about this top.
Yeah.
If we have something like a motorcycle or something really large, this whole thing folds like a convertible top, and you could put a large thing in there and not really lose anything. You have a hard top, you have to remove the whole hard top to do that.
Yeah, it's very lightweight too.
Yeah,
so
I like that part of it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So, shall we talk about my capability? Which is a little bit more than yours?
Because, I don't know, dude, because GM has just upgraded your towing capacities.
Yep.
They've upgraded the price. They lowered the price. I'm really not happy about that.
So, what does it say on the door?
Well, so I'll show you in a second. 1,450 pounds of payload.
In my carbon bed, my special bed that you can throw boulders in and it won't hurt. Yeah,
It's true.
yeah, it's true.
And 8,800 pounds of max towing. Dude, that tows 8,000. 8,800, I mean, it's almost the same.
No, it's 800 pounds difference. That's a 10% difference. Mine's better.
Okay.
And more importantly,
What?
Mine is more efficient. So you stop less often in order to put gas in it as you're towing cross country.
I'll show you in a second what the range on the Raptor is, which is insane.
Yeah, you
But
have a really big tank.
What are you doing? What are you showing?
Oh, yeah. So I have this, what do they call it? Multi-Pro? Super Pro?
This is very professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these multi-configurable tailgates can do a lot of cool stuff.
Really?
That's if Andre, there you go. You got it, pal? This one has the speakers in it too. Check it out. Kicker.
You got your kicker system?
Yep.
Are you kicking it?
So the whole purpose of this isn't just to open it like this. Although if you do that, then what it does is it gives you additional space to hold long objects where you still have something behind there so it doesn't slide out and slam into traffic. But the main thing is the ability to drop it and...
Yeah, how easy is it? Tell me, please.
It takes me a while to figure out the combination.
Well,
wait a minute. You go up, you go like that, and then like that. There you go.
Ah.
See, I figured it out. Da-da.
You have to go to school to figure that out.
Oh, come on. That only took a minute. Yes, and you
Look,
got the
what
little
is this?
handle. Yeah.
Okay, so this bed is good, right?
Yeah.
Composite, carbon composite.
Yeah, you can drop a boulder in it, no
Here's
problem.
what a couple owners told me. So can you put the camera right here? You see this curved area?
Yeah.
Right now, some of the owners of these trucks actually can't find a tonneau cover that mounts, because usually it's a lip. You know,
Oh.
usually you clamp something to it. But this bed, for some reason, is curved. So, for some reason, some owners are having trouble putting a tonneau cover on this truck.
I can easily fix that.
How?
A piece of plywood. And just screw it in. I mean, look, it doesn't. That doesn't matter. That's one minor issue. A tonneau cover, for crying out loud. They do have like utility boxes you can put in here, and they'll match just fine, right?
Yeah, well, you have power outlet, you have lights,
Yes,
you have
got all
tie
that
down
stuff.
Yeah, I also have a fancy step.
Yeah. Go ahead and show yours.
So let me show you my step, and then let's do interior technology and let's go drive.
All right.
Because Nathan was showing off his tailgate, I have to show off mine. And Ford has had this for several years. You know, it's a little bit more simple operation, of course. And, you know, it's not quite as fancy. There is no stereo system inside my tailgate. But I think this is more usable. And speaking to
More
David...
usable. Mine's more usable.
No, dude, speaking to David, our, you know, friend that we work on TFL Classics with, he loves this system too.
That doesn't necessarily give it a ringing endorsement in my mind. He has yaks on his farm, dude. You can't really. I mean, nothing against the guy. I love him, but no, that's not the endorsement I'm looking for. What I will say is that the system works. It works, which is great. But that is a lot more fun to play with. Tailgate-wise.
I'll give you that. But before we get into the inside, I want to show you something. You see this? Raptor has had this for years, even the first gen.
Yeah.
Right? It's a nice little step.
I hate steps.
Pretty strong.
Yeah.
What happened here?
Yeah, I know.
Did GM put a Raptor
I hate it.
step on it?
And you know what? I gotta admit, it's kind of useless because it's even narrower than the one that's on the Ford. And so, other than little tiny feet for little people, who I don't want my truck anyway, I really don't see a purpose behind this. Personally speaking, if this were my truck, I would delete that.
Okay, so you have the radio in the truck, right?
Yes, I do.
So let's fire them up and talk briefly about technology.
Yeah.
And then go for a ride.
That sounds good.
Nathan, the Raptor is a technological tour de force, and I'll show you that in a second. Here, let me fire this up. When this truck first came out, dude, even in 2017, and then when it was updated in 2019, same thing. You can configure the steering feel, the transmission mapping, the accelerator. You have paddle shifters. You can modify the suspension, the four-wheel drive system, selectable locker, four-wheel drive automatic, trailer backup system. Dude, if you love tech, this is it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
The tech I have is more useful on a daily basis. This is really good for toys. If you're going to go off-road and have a lot of fun, bounce around, and you want to screw around with the different settings, this makes sense. But if you're a regular working Joe who doesn't go off-road all the time, then my truck makes more sense. That's just the bottom line. Look,
no.
There's a really good way of looking at this. See all those switches you have? All the other stuff there that's, by the way, nothing's hooked up to it. Those are for toys, for lights and
rocket launcher,
winches. Right? Exactly. Ejection seat, all that stuff. The point is that all of that stuff is there to increase the toy value of the truck. At the end of the day, this is a party truck. It's a fun truck. It's not a logical truck, and the tech that it has is specifically for augmenting your off-road experience. Oh, speaking of augmented,
yes,
hit the exhaust. Come on, hit. Whoa. Oh. Yeah, okay. They pipe that in, don't they?
I don't agree with a lot of the stuff you said, because fun equals utility.
It has some utility.
Well, yeah, but look at this. Can you zoom in on this really quick? I have 603 miles of range according to the trip meter in this computer, because it has a 36-gallon tank.
It does have a massive tank.
Huge.
Yeah, it's a massive tank, all right. You know, my range isn't that much different, and I have a much smaller tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Diesel. All right. So, Andre, you wanted to go tit for tat. Now, first of all, my interior, this is the best of all the GM interiors for pickup trucks. It's much better than the Chevrolet. It is a nicer place to be. Let's start the engine. That is a quiet diesel, my friends. All right. So, stuff that we have in terms of tech. Now, granted, not the largest screen, but a massive heads-up display. Absolutely huge, which I love. There's also the camera system, which is one of the best in the industry. One of the reasons why is because it gives you every possible angle you could want. Yeah, there's Andre. How you doing, handsome devil? Okay, so being able to switch from a variety of different camera angles. Now, some of these are kind of useless, but something like this make a lot of sense if you're towing. This one here, Andre, you've gotten taller, my friend. It's a little warped, but the whole point is this does help some people when they're going through narrow areas. It can help off-road for some people. I like this one, especially when you're negotiating boulders and whatnot off-road. Nissan has a similar system, and it's great because you're able to weave between things and not go over sharp rocks if you use the system. Granted, you don't want to stare at the screen when you're going off-road, but you know, it doesn't hurt to have. And that's, look at that. Yeah, see? That's one side and that's the other side. Look at that. Then, of course, you have even more cameras. There's your bed cam. Obviously, it's been snowing. And this is great for hooking up a hitch, especially if you're doing it solo, which we do often. No wasted space here. Really good placement of these buttons. I like being able
How many auxiliary switches do you have on your ceiling?
I don't have any because I don't need them.
Zero. And Raptor also has cameras, by the way.
Not as many as these. Not even close. I got way more cameras.
Okay, you have more views, granted.
Yes, yeah.
But the Raptor has a 360-degree view.
It does have
stuff.
that. Yeah, it has that. And then if you add that all together with the fact that this is a nicer place to sit than the Raptor, and you cannot even debate that. Now, the new Ford F-150 has a much nicer interior, but the 2020, like that one, it's not as nice as this.
All right, dude, I just engaged my 4-wheel auto mode in the Raptor. And let me just show you, once we get to the street, how it accelerates.
In Russia, Raptor Ford U.
We're in a little dirt patch here with snow. And this is kind of perfect for the Raptor with the suspension system that it has. And that's kind of where you're paying your money, because this truck, fully loaded with every option, basically is, $77,000. How much is yours?
60 something. I don't know, something like that.
I think it was just under 65 for your truck, 65,000, which is actually, thinking about every option that you have, that's not bad.
The $65,000 gives you a fully loaded truck indeed. The thing is that the Raptor can be this price if you can even find one at, that's a dealership.
All right, you ready for this? Eat my dust. He's not even in the same zip code.
All right, admittedly, I won't be able to keep up with you when you do that. However, eating dust is something that you would be doing as you run out of gas in the middle of the highway while you're towing, as I pass you by in waves.
Now, look how you have to squeeze through that.
What are you talking about? I have like a mile on each side.
No, you had about a foot on each side. I have almost 2 feet on each side. That is one of the major differences. The maneuverability of this truck in tight situations is superior. And I know I'm right about this.
Sir, I couldn't hear you. I was being relaxed by my heated seats and a heated steering wheel.
Which I have as well, for crying out loud. Look, here's the thing, guys. I'm talking about a daily driver, and I do love the Raptor. I do. It's so damn good off-road, and it's so much fun. But in terms of...
Are you saying that I have not convinced you? You're sticking with the AT4?
I'm right now pleading my case with the audience, and you just interrupted, Russian. So the point is that this truck has what everyday people need. On top of the fact that it's comfortable, it's very luxurious, it has an amazing ride, and as I said a million times, it has an excellent powertrain. Those are things that I think are truly important. And by the way, he may have a faster truck.
We'll show him your acceleration, see what you got.
This thing actually moves really good. Really good. The bottom line is, that's an amazing play toy. This is an amazing everyday toy. Well, that doesn't quite work. Here's a better one. That's an amazing play toy. Yeah, we got that one. This is no, that's not either good. Okay, one more. That's an amazing play toy. This is an amazing truck. Well, it kind of works. You know what? They're nothing alike. Not even close. And I cannot convince you that I don't like the Raptor. I love it. But I can tell you this. If it were my money, and let's say both these trucks were, say, $65,000, which I think both of them could easily sit in that ether. This one is, that one could be. I think I'd buy this truck. As a family human being who doesn't want to get divorced because my wife goes, this truck is useless and I can't use it, this one is useful and can be driven and can be parked. I can't even fit a Raptor in my parking spot at home. Seriously, I can't. It's just too big.
Guys, please help us in the comments below. Let us know what you think about these two trucks. And as always, go back to TFLtruck.com for all the latest news, views, and real-world, independent, and honest reviews.
Orale.